Hello, my amazing listeners. Welcome back to African Folktales by Blessing. Today, I have something very special, something unlike any other stories you have heard before. Have you ever heard of a story that sends shivers down your spine and make you question what is real and what is not? Well, tonight, we're journey deep into the heart of African folklore with a tale that is as mysterious as terrifying. This is a story of Ozioma, a girl born with a power to give life and take away, a child both feared and rejected because of her difference. But what happened when the darkness she meant to protect us from came from her and us all? Get ready for a chilling adventure filled with ancient spirits, powerful forces, and a battle between light and darkness. So grab your seats and prepare yourself for the haunted tale of Ozioma, the one who is different. You won't want to miss a moment of this mysterious story. Here we go. Long ago, in dense forests of Eastern Africa, there was a village called Umahia, nestled beneath towering bamboo trees and surrounded by river that shimmered in the sunlight. Umahia was known for its peace, rich in harvests, and its beautiful people who were proud of their heritage. But there was no child was born unlike other, and her name was Ozioma. Ozioma came into the world on a night when the moon was full, shining brighter than it had ever before. The village midwife Nneka screamed when she first saw the child. Her hands trembled. Ozioma's left hand was covered in thick smooth scale like a sharpened. While her hand was delicate and soft like newborn's. Her left leg was twisted like the roots of the Iroko tree, while her right leg was strong and straight. Her eyes, one was as white as milk, and the other glowed red and embarrassed from the village fire. The people whispered, was she cursed? Was it a sign of the gods' anger? Her mother and Didi loved her fearlessly, refusing to let anyone harm her. But Ozioma grew up knowing she was different from other children. Other children mocked her, calling her Nwojo, the bad child. As she grew older, strange things began to happen around Ozioma. Animals, even wild ones like leopards, hyenas, will stop and stare at her while she passed by. When she touched plants, her serpent-like hand, they will rather die. Yet, with the other hand, they will bloom brighter than ever. Some nights, the villagers would hear her singing in strange language, beneath in the full moon. Her voice haunted and beautiful, but as her voice rose, crops would rot and the rivers would swell as if trying to pull the village into depths. Fear took hold of Umahia. The elders met in secret and declared that Ozioma must be sent away, for she was bringing bad fortune. Her mother wept, but the villagers were relentless. They believed Ozioma was the bringer of death and harbinger of curses. Her father Chukwuma, who had always been silent on the matter, decided to take deep into the forest, to a place where even the bravest warriors feared to go, the cursed woods. That night they left. A thick mist covered the land, and even the animals seemed to retreat. As Ozioma and her father ventured deep into the forest, strange sound ensured through the trees, whispered that came from no mouths, eyes that gleamed from the shadows. They came to the ancient trees, gnarled and blackened as thought it had been struck by lightning. Countless times, we must part ways here, Chukwuma said, his voice cracking. Ozioma, thought only 14, nodded solemnly. She had always known these days would come. Alone now, Ozioma wandered inside the forest for days, her strange limbs carrying her further into the unknown. She found a cave within the forest where rocks glowed under the moonlight. There, Ozioma began to hear voices, ancient deep voices coming far from the earth itself. You are not alone. You are one of us. The voice grew louder, and one night, while staring into the cave's pool of still water, she saw them. Spirits, neither human nor animal, but being of the land, the water and the sky. They told her was one of the Ekwensu, the forgotten children of the gods, being born with power of balance, life and death, beauty and terror. Ozioma realized that her strange body was not a curse but a mark of power. Her serpent heart could bring them death, and her human hand could give them life. Her twisted leg connected to her earth's deepest mystery, while her straight legs carried into the future, and her eyes one could see the world of the living and the other the world of the spirit. The spirit warned her, however, that she has been haunted. There was an ancient forces dark and malevolent that twisted to consume her power for themselves. Those forces, led by an ancient being known as Aguchi, have been banished long ago, but Ozioma's presence had awakened them. Aguchi was coming for her, hunting for the power of Ekinsu. Ozioma returned to Umahia, but not as frightened, rejected child as once she was. She walked into the village at dusk, the animals silent in her presence, the wind howling through the trees. Her eyes, one white and one red, glowed in faded light. The villagers watched in fear and unsure of what to do as she entered into the village. She called out to the elders, "You cast me out, believing I was a curse. But I am the balance, the protection of this land. There is a darkness coming, and it will swallow you whole unless you stand with me." The elders trembled in fear, but they know Ozioma is speaking the truth. The air itself felt heavy, as though something terrible was approaching. That night, the sky turned black as coal, and the winds howled like never before. Aguchi arrived, a shadowed figure with eyes like burning coals and a voice that chilled the bones. His form shifted like smoke, but his power was unimaginable. The villagers cowardly with their weapons, useless against such being. But Ozioma stood tall, her serpent hand glowing with silky green light, while her human hands and stone were bright and golden. She called upon the spirit of the land, the water and the sky, and they answered. The ground beneath Aguchi cracked and split open, wide as thick as tree trunks shot up, wrapping round the dark figure. Aguchi laughed a terrible sound and echoed through the village. "You cannot defeat me. I am the darkness that lives in all things." But Ozioma's eye flashed. "You are a part of a balance, Aguchi, and you have forgotten the power of life." With her human hand, she touched the ground, and from the spring, a blinded light, the veins grew, wrapping tighter around Aguchi, who screamed in rage and fear. In a final burst of power, Ozioma raised both hands, one bringing death and the other bringing life, and Aguchi was torn apart, scattered ash in the wind. The village of Umaya was silent. The people bowed their heads in awe of Ozioma, and one who is different, the protector who had saved them from darkness. Ozioma did not stay. She knew her place was not with the village but with the spirit, balancing the forces of life and death, forever walking between worlds. And so, the legend of Ozioma spread across the land, a tale of misery, power, and frightening beauty with those who are different. The lessons and the story remind us that difference can be strength, and understanding balance, courage, and unity are essential in overcoming fear and darkness. Thanks for watching my video once again. Bye.